Hi, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video review for the third episode of Under the Dome, Season 1, Episode 3, which is called Manhunt. Alright, so this week's Under the Dome episode for me, personally, I felt like was just okay. I didn't think it was fantastic. I mean, I thought the premiere was fantastic. I thought the follow-up, the second episode, The Fire, was really, really good as well. Probably just as good as the premiere, almost. And then, of course, this episode here, for me, kind of came down a little bit after the first two. There was a good amount of stuff that happened in this episode, carrying after last week's episode, The Fire. We get to see an actual, manhunt take place. In this one, this review will contain spoilers, by the way, as Paul, the cop who sort of lost his damn mind because of the dome, tricks Linda. I mean, kind of in a silly, old-fashioned, silly, oh, I'm hurt. She comes and he beats her up and locks her in and runs away. And then, of course, they pursue to chase him down in what was, I want to say, fairly exciting. I mean, we haven't really gotten to know the characters that well yet. So, there's still a lot of very generic characters that we don't really care much for. It was sort of exciting, and I did like how that all turned out, especially with Linda at the end of that. So that was kind of fun. That was like the concentration of the episode. Also, we see some more tension building between Barbie, Junior, Big Jim, and the reporter, as they're all kind of, the small town, as they keep saying, is starting to sort of, find out about each other, and these dynamics are being created. Also, a couple more scenes with Angie as she is able to hide some scissors that maybe she'll use later on to stab him or try to escape. And Junior goes on this, wild goose chase to try to see if he can somehow get under the dome, literally under it, and get out, out from under it if he goes down far enough, which of course does not work. Which was, I mean, it was that stuff was okay. Probably the best part of the episode was the actual manhunt of Paul, Linda's parts, Big Jim, his, sort of the way he speaks to Barbie and what happens with that. That's kind of interesting. Now, there was some things I didn't like about the episode, though. The whole Joe and Norrie, Joe, of course, being the kid, the teenager, and Norrie being the girl from out of town that has the two parents that are both females, two moms. And, they're starting to develop some kind of love interest in this episode. And it just felt so cliche, the whole the bullying kid from school picking on Joe, and then her sort of, being in the mix of that. I would say that I didn't really like anything to do with those two characters in this episode. It was just, it's so cliche to see, teenage kid, kind of nerdy kid getting picked on. You've got the girl in the mix and all these things. It's just so cliched. I really didn't enjoy almost any of that. Plus, I felt like the acting from the two of them, the two actors that play the teenagers, was kind of bad. I don't want to be mean, but it was bad, to be honest with you. It didn't seem believable. It didn't feel legit. It just felt like unreal. It just felt unnatural, and it just, I don't know, it just, I didn't like anything to do with that. So that was all blah, whatever. I realized in this episode that the lady that owns the diner is from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. One of her, is it Zelda, I think? Like her mom or whatever? Or not mom, but she's got, the two witches that take care of her, Hilda and Zelda. That's Zelda from Sabrina the Teenage Witch that owns the diner. So I thought that was kind of a funny little thing. And it was interesting in this episode to see a lot more scenes with Dean Norris as he's acting out Big Jim, because we're used to seeing him as in Breaking Bad, where he's playing Hank, and the way he plays Jim and Hank is so totally different. His body language, everything, the way he behaves, the way he sounds, the way he looks, it's really convincing that he's playing this totally different role, and he's not your atypical good guy in this series, which is funny. Even though he's kind of like your leader character, he's not just a straight up simplistic hero cop police type guy. So I think that's kind of interesting to see some of the stuff with him, just from the actor, because he's a great actor. It's a lot of fun to see him do different scenes like that. So in terms of Junior, I really still don't feel for Junior. I don't like him. I mean, the actor doesn't do a bad job, I guess, but I really don't know where they're going with him. The whole Angie thing, and I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting that his dad is Big Jim, so you get that sort of tie-in together of everything, and you do feel like it's a small town because you can start to see all these connections being made between the characters. And I mean, that's fairly interesting, I guess, but Junior as a character to me is kind of bland, and the acting too, I don't know if I care for it too much. So I like Big Jim, I like Barbie. The reporter girl is cool, and it was interesting at the end here how she is kind of starting to figure out what Barbie was doing there, or this kind of stuff. And then, I mean, aside from that, I don't like Joe. I don't really like Norrie too much, characters. And any of the teenagers I don't really like a whole lot. The skateboarding up the side of the dome, I mean, whatever. From the Asian kid with the long hair. So, and then, I mean, what else did we really get? Lots of little bits and things like that with what's her name? Paul and Linda becoming the sheriff, so that was kind of cool. But, I mean, that's really all I had to say about this one. In terms of score, I'm just going to give this episode a 6 out of 10, and I'm going to cut the review a little bit short because it was a mixed bag. So, I pretty much give my thoughts on most of the stuff. There was a lot of other stuff that happened with different characters and stuff like that, but a lot of that I wasn't feeling it. Maybe it's just I'm not in a good mood today, I don't know. But I just wasn't feeling this episode as much as the other two. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Am I totally off base here? Sometimes, if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, having a bad day type thing. My reviews tend to be a little bit more negative than usual, and my scoring tends to be a little bit biased because of my mood. Because it does affect us. State affects everybody in decisions and things of that nature. So let me know if you guys did still love the episode as much as the other two, or if you felt like I did, which was a little bit, coming down a little bit after that. I did feel that way. So anyway, I'm going to still stick with the show. I do like the show. I don't know if I'm going to review every episode, because if a lot of the episodes are like tonight's episode, then I may not feel the need to actually shoot a whole review video doing, one episode single reviews. It really depends on, how it goes. And I mean, if the rest of the episodes are anywhere like the first two, that, will be good. Then I'll be reviewing each one. But otherwise, I may not, depending. One thing I forgot to mention was the whole when the teenagers, Joe and Norrie, when they touched hands and they both had seizures. I just laughed when that happened. I don't know why. I just did. But it kind of makes you think like maybe it's some, the whole, what do they say, pink stars are falling or something like that. Maybe the dome is created by aliens or something of the sort. But that doesn't really make sense, because then how would Big Jim have known to stockpile propane? It's kind of like, what caused the dome? What started it? Is it aliens? Is it the government? I mean, it wouldn't really make sense that the Jim would know to stockpile propane unless they're talking about something else or something. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it's all resolved or explained as we go on through the series. So I am sticking with it, but I'm saying I don't know for sure if I'm going to review every episode. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if people are that interested. I don't know if the episodes are going to be that good. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But this is not the last one of the Dome review. I'll definitely do some more, and definitely the season finale, because that should be big. If it's not the series finale. And, a few of the other episodes. But, if a lot of them are like tonight's episode, I may not review them every week. I may not do it religiously every week, depending. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I think that's it for this one. So I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. I'm saying peace.